Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I am going to talk about some of the adaptations that I have enjoyed more than the book. This was an idea that was suggested to me by my friend Rachel, who is in my book club here, and we were talking about video ideas and something like that came up, and she said, hey, that would be a great video for you to do, and I was like, yes, it would be. I've answered a question like this in a video a while ago, I think, but it was part of a tag video, so it wasn't into like a whole discussion and I only picked one. But I do have 6 things written down here where I have read or attempted to read the book, and then I watched the adaptation, whether it was a movie, a play, a TV show, whatever it is, but I enjoyed the adaptation more. And I only have 6 because this is rare. Normally, I like the books more. Normally, the books are always better, but there's a couple times where it's just not that way. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Dexter series, and these are books that are written by Jeff Lindsay. I believe there were 8 books total. I read every single one. I read the entire series, and I also watched the TV show that was on HBO. And I really liked the show, like a lot. And a lot of it had to do with the casting. The casting in the show was perfection. It was fantastic. And I also liked the show better because it had a bit more of the story arc. So basically what the basic premise is the same in both, in the books and the adaptation. It follows a man named Dexter Morgan. He is a serial killer. He also works for the Miami Police Department as a blood spatter expert, and it's that way in both the series and in the books. But the way that the side characters go are different. There's some that die in the books very early and they live in the show for a long time. And some of them just take different routes in, one or the other. I like the way that they did it in the show a little bit better. Plus they were able to, take a season and have it follow, one continuous story. Whereas in the books, it didn't do that quite so much. So I liked having, being with one really, really bad serial killer that Dexter is hunting throughout an entire season. I think maybe season 4 was probably my favorite because that had the Trinity killer, I believe, and that was played by John Lithgow. It was fantastic. It was brilliant. And so just overall, I really liked the show a lot better. I didn't love the ending of it, but I did love the show as a whole. And Michael C. Hall was fantastic. I thought he was perfect. This is a show that I would watch from beginning to end all over again. The next one is Sex and the City, and the book is written by Candace Bushnell, and then there was a show on HBO, and love the show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. That's another one that, I would watch over again. I have watched multiple times. And the book, I hated it. I didn't even finish it. I got maybe almost halfway through and I was like, I can't do this. It was so different. And I don't know if it's because I started with the show and then tried to read the book. Like if I had done the opposite, if it would have been different or not. But Charlotte is not the same in the book as she is in the show, and neither is Miranda. And I could not stomach it. I really couldn't. It's like, these are completely different characters. So I think mainly because I started with the show first and I was so attached to them and I had them so ingrained in my mind because I had watched it so much that I went to go try the book and it was a little bit different. I just couldn't stomach it. So I didn't finish reading that book. And I read a few books by Candace Bushnell and I didn't love them. So I don't know if it would have even helped, just because I don't think her writing is all that great. And the next one is Julie and Julia, and the book is written by Julie Powell, and this was made into a movie, and it was starring Amy Adams and Meryl Streep, and the movie was fantastic. I loved it. I've seen it multiple times. I would watch it again in a heartbeat. I loved it. It was centered around food. It follows Julia Child when she was living in France and starting her culinary career. And then it also follows like today's world, or when this actually took place, because this is a nonfiction. And it follows Julie's character, who was a woman living in New York, and she was kind of stagnant in her job. She wanted to do something new and exciting. So she decided to cook her way through the Julia Child cookbook in 1 year. and she blogged about her experience doing that. And it's a true story. It's Julie's story. She did this, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And just the food in there, oh my goodness, I was very hungry after I watched that movie. And then I went back and tried to read the book, and I could not even get a quarter of the way through it. The thing that stopped me from continuing with the book is that it hit a point where it was right after 9/11 happened. So there was a lot of devastation going on. Obviously, a lot of people, going through some issues and having problems. And she worked in like a messaging center type of thing where people could call in and talk about their problems, and like she tried to find them help and stuff. So one little section of this book, she really went off about the government and Republicans in general. And I just went, nope, I can't read this. And it really surprised me. There was a little hint in the movie about, not being big fans of Republicans, which is fine. Like, not everybody is. I understand that. And I don't not want to read a book just because of that. But I don't want to read a book about a food blog and then listen to your politics. So that's what really caught me off guard. And I went, whoa, I'm not okay with this. So I stopped reading it. And yeah, I mean, that's not what I went into it for. And I know it's probably just a little section and then she moves on to go to the rest of the story, but I just didn't feel like it was necessary. And, when you throw politics into a book that is not politically based, I don't feel like that's okay. Or, I mean, it's her story, but I don't feel like it was necessary. Basically, I think there was a more delicate way she could have handled something like that if she even feel like she needed to handle it at all. I mean, this was a very long time ago, and it's, you run the risk of alienating some of your readers that way, especially if you're not writing a book about politics or about your feelings on politics. That's not what I went into it for. So, yep, big fat nope on that one. The next one is Wicked, and this book is written by Gregory Maguire, and this was adapted into a Broadway musical, and I read the book in its entirety, and also I saw the musical when we lived in San Antonio. We were able to go see it, and I really, really enjoyed the stage show so much better than the book. And I've read a couple of his books like this. They're kind of different takes on the fairy tale. So obviously this one follows the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz, and it's kind of her backstory and how she became that way. And then there's also one about the Ugly Stepsisters from Cinderella, and there's one about the Cowardly Lion, and just quite a few things. I enjoyed the book. I didn't love it, just because the writing was a little all over the place, and it didn't capture me as much as I wanted it to. But I still enjoyed it. I did not like the book, but I just loved the play so much better. And, it helps to have the music and all that. But the play was just absolutely wonderful. And I do think that the idea behind it is brilliant, is telling her story, from the beginning before she even ended up in Oz. Like, it was fantastic, and I loved it. Okay, this next one, guys. This was very close. Like, I do like the adaptation better, but only because I'm getting a visual of what's happening. So it's Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I have read the first 3 books in this book series. I'm going to continue. I do really, really enjoy the books. I give them I think average, they've gotten 4 stars from me. And I am currently watching the TV show Adaptation. I am caught up to date with it. So we're in season 3 right now. And just, the books are really, really good. I really enjoy the story. I enjoy where it's going. I enjoy all of it. But seeing it on the screen and seeing it come to life, and the actors in that show are just so phenomenal, and the scenery is so beautiful, and just the way that they adapt it is just fantastic. It really doesn't stray that much from the books. Obviously the books are much more detailed because they're this big and you can't fit that into a season. It's way too much. So they do have to cut out little things here and there, but for the most part, it follows the storyline pretty solidly. And oh my gosh, it's just so good. The show is fantastic. It's one of my favorites. And I can't get over how beautiful it is, and the story that it's telling is just phenomenal. Okay, the last one is a show, again, that I'm currently watching, and I have recently read the book, and that is The Elstone of Shannara, and that is by Terry Brooks. So this book is actually the second in a series, but you didn't have to read the first book in order to jump into this one, so I didn't. And I heard not so great things about the first one. But this one I wanted to read because I did have it on my shelf and it was being adapted into a TV show. So I wanted to read the book first and then watch the show, which I did. And I do like the show better. It does a little bit of a better job explaining why things are happening. When I was reading the book, I got very confused, like quite a bit. And not because I hadn't read the first one, just because the storyline was jumping around so much, and I was just like, I don't know, where are we here? Who's this talking? What's going on? I had a really hard time following it. I only gave the book 3 stars. But the show, while it's not like the best show on TV, it's so great, it's so well done. My husband and I actually kind of make fun of it a little bit while we're watching. Just some of the acting isn't the best, and they time jump too. Like all of a sudden, this person is setting off for another land, and then like the next scene, he's there, and we're like, wait, really? Like that was fast. But the show, I'm able to follow a lot better than the actual book. And a few times my husband looked at me and said, did that happen in the book? I was like, I don't think so. But I really couldn't tell him because the book confused me so much. So, yeah, the book wasn't all that great for me personally, but I really have been enjoying the show. My husband and I are watching it together, and we're watching it. It's good. Okay, guys, those are 6 adaptations that I actually enjoyed better than the book, which is a very unpopular opinion most of the time. So leave me comments down below. Let me know if you agree with any of these. Let me know if you have any adaptations that you enjoyed better than the book, or if you have any adaptations from a book that you're not planning to read the book, because maybe you might not enjoy it as much. I'm kind of keeping that in mind right now. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.